Hey there, creepy peeps. So I got a suggestion earlier this week to do a review for Mother's Day. I mean, in honor of Mother's Day. Since it's Mother's Day today, I am going to review the film Mother's Day in honor of all the moms out there. Very topical and apropos. So thank you for the suggestion. I heard you, and we're gonna talk about this movie. There are actually a few movies entitled Mother's Day out there. The one I got asked to do or suggested to do is the 1980 film Mother's Day. Mother's Day is directed by Charles Kaufman, who in addition to the 1980s Mother's Day, also directed 2010 Mother's Day. And the movie is essentially about three college friends who annually take this trip, just the three of them, a little like weekend vacation or whatever, and they happen to take a vacation, of course, in the vicinity of a mother and her two sons who are very sadistic and very perverted and are out to kill them. It seems like basically the mother is training them to be like serial rapists and serial murderers, which is interesting. It's just a really like raunchy, kind of poorly made film. It's definitely one of those movies that I would like to see in a theater where like the audience is just like shouting and yelling at the screen and making fun of it and having a good time. Like I kind of feel bad for those movies that become like these cult, I don't know, like cult classic isn't the word, but it's, you know, just one of those films that's just like wonderfully bad and people will watch it and like yell at the screen and make jeers at it and stuff like that. I feel like Mother's Day is one of those films. It's really bad and it's really cheesy and corny, but I get a joy out of watching those horror movies. I find them wonderfully entertaining, and it's just silly to laugh at, especially when they take horror conventions and it's just like so blatantly obvious and so cheesy. I keep saying the word cheesy, and I feel like cheesy is the best way to describe this movie. Like in particular, the music is just, I almost felt like whoever was in charge of the music was just like really lazy or something during this movie, because there'll be a scene like, for example, the girls walk by a bush, like they're going through the woods and they're camping. They walk by a bush to get to their campsite, and then the camera stays on the bush. Obviously, you know, like you're gonna get like a glimpse of somebody hiding in the bush. The bush is gonna move, a twig is gonna snap or something like that. And you know, as an audience member, that there is somebody hiding behind the bush watching them. And usually the music kind of cues you on this as well. It'll kind of swell or something. But what happens is like it'll happen, like the bush will wiggle or something like that, and then the music kicks in. It's almost just like the person was like, oh yeah, and then it's like da-da. I don't know if that description made any sense, but I just found it really, really funny. I just found that hilarious. The lines are really cheesy and the voiceovers are really obvious. Like when they're walking through the woods, obviously you're gonna have like a voiceover audio track. I guess what I'm trying to say is it very obviously sounds like they're in a recording studio recording their lines over to play over certain scenes. For example, if you had a shot where like across the lake, like they're camping on a lake. So say you have like the scene and they're around the campfire, and then you take it to a wide shot across the lake, but they're still talking. They usually add some sort of like echo or anything. Like you can hear the distance. Like it almost sounds like you're listening across the lake. This is like the sound is just like very clearly in a studio and it sounds like they're right next to you. I don't know, it's just really silly. I'd never seen it before this suggestion, and I thought it was a great idea for this Sunday's video, it being Mother's Day. And I had a really good time watching it. I guess mini spoiler alert, my all-time favorite scene, and this is going in like my top 10 favorite horror movie deaths of all time, is when the girls, so basically the girls get captured, obviously, and one of their friends gets the worst of it. She gets brutally raped, but her two friends try and get her out of there, and they hide her in the woods while they try and run for help, and over the course of that, she dies from her injuries and trauma, I guess. The other two girls, like, for revenge, they go back to the house and they kill off the family one by one. They kill the two brothers, and then lastly, the mother. And the way the mother dies is the greatest thing I have seen in any horror movie. It's just one of the greatest deaths I've ever seen in a horror movie. Out of nowhere, one of the girls grabs a pair. It's like, I guess, I don't know if it's meant to be like a pillow or something, but it's like that clear inflatable plastic, you know, like 90s kids, like that inflatable furniture. It was like that, but it was clear, and it was a pair of boobs. Like, it was clear plastic inflated with boobs with like nipples painted on. So one of the girls just out of nowhere just grabs this inflatable pair of tits and puts it over the mother's face and suffocates her. And so you just get this shot of like the mom's mouth around, like open in fear, I guess, around these boobs. And she suffocates to death on a pair of plastic inflatable breasts. Wonderful. That was like I said, that's going into my list of top 10 favorite horror movie deaths. Not because it's gruesome or anything, just because it's the most random, weirdest shit I've ever seen, and it was just wonderful. I haven't yet done my research on the film, so for all I know, it could have purposefully been made that way. The fact that it was made in the 80s kind of cues me that it wasn't meant to be that bad, but it was. I will do my research on it and include any cool information I find in my extended review on NightmareMaven.com. Shameless plug. I definitely think this movie was enjoyable to watch. As enjoyable as it can be. I mean, people get raped in it. That part's not enjoyable to watch. But the fact that it's so cheesy is what I'm trying to say is enjoyable to watch. And I would definitely recommend watching this movie. Like, get a group of friends together for a movie night. Get some pizza, get beer, get some alcohol, and I feel like that would just be an awesome time, like making fun of the movie the whole time. Thank you for the suggestion, and please feel free to leave any more suggestions in the comment section down below for other movies you want me to review, be it a stale movie review like Mother's Day, or a newer movie that's come out, or a remake versus original, or something like that. Also include in your comment, if you choose to comment, your thoughts on the movie Mother's Day if you've seen it before. And a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I'll just take this 2 seconds. My mom does not watch my videos, but in the off chance that she watches this, thank you, Mom, for being okay with my weirdness and my love of horror movies and not sending me to a psychiatrist thinking that I need mental health. Anyways, that's all I have for you for this video. Until next time, stay strange. Bye.